Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to learn about HTML block elements and inline elements. Understanding these elements is very important for designing and structuring the web pages. So let's start the video by understanding some fundamental concepts. Every HTML element has a default display value depending on what type of element it is, and the two most common display values are block and inline. Let's first study about the block level elements. So a block level element always starts on a new line, and the client browsers automatically add some space or margin before and after the element. A block level element always takes up the full width available, meaning it stretches out to the left and right as far as the parent element width. Two commonly used block elements are the p element and the div element, which basically defines a paragraph in an HTML document and a division or a section in an HTML document respectively. So let us again see an example of our p element and div element here. So first we write the p element here, and inside it we write is Shubham compiled tag channel, and I just copy this content few more times. So let's copy and paste them here to make it a paragraph. And below this, let's add a BR element here to introduce line breaks in the web page. So 2 should be enough. And below this, let's define a div tag here. And this will say this is a div element. So if we now save and open our index.html file here in the web browser, we can see that we have a paragraph here and a div element here. But what I am trying to say is that you will understand better when we add a border to them. So let's add a style tag in our head element here. So style, this is for just showing the block and inline elements. This is CSS, not the HTML here. So let's write a p here and define some properties here. We can add a border to it. So let's add a border of 1 pixel solid black, and do the same for our div tag here. So let's add a border also here and define the border as 1px solid black. And if we now save and refresh our index.html page here, you can see that the paragraph is taking up the full width of the browser window, and the div element is also taking the full width of the browser window because they are the block level elements. Now there are more block level elements that we have previously used in our videos, such as heading tags, table tag, list tags, and the list goes on. You can find more block level tags or elements on the internet. I would recommend it to you to go to a website like W3 Schools to view them at least for once and take a note of it. Now let's move on to the inline elements. An inline element does not start on a new line. An inline element only takes up as much width or space as necessary, and the most commonly used inline element is the span element. The span element is an inline container used to mark up a part of text or part of a document. So if we go to our Visual Studio Code here, and let's cover our div tags here with the span tag here. So if we say span and cover the div tags here, and if we add some style to our span tag here to mark it differently, so let's add a border here with 1px solid, let's say teal color here. And if we now save and go to our index.html file here and refresh the page, we can see that we have an inline element here called span, which does not start on a new line and does not take up the full width of the browser window. Now there are more inline elements just like the block level elements, such as the anchor tag, image tag, and so on. Make sure to check them out on the internet and make a note of them and practice them later on your personal websites. Next, let's talk about some differences between the block level elements versus the inline elements. Block level elements starts on a new line, inline elements don't. Block level elements take full width, Inline elements takes only required width. And also one element you will see more often when you look at the source code of a website. So let's go to actually blogger.com and viewing its source code by pressing the Ctrl plus U key or right clicking and selecting the view page source is the div element. So you can see that there are a lot of div elements here in the websites, another one here, then another one here, and so on. So let's talk about this element some more. The div element is often used as a container for other HTML elements. The div element is often used to group sections of a web page together. We can have many div containers on the same page and nested div elements also. Now one more thing to remember is that we can change how the elements behave with the help of CSS. We can make a span tag to behave like an block level tag and vice versa for something like div tag to behave like an inline tag. This is not actually a disadvantage but is useful when designing web page layouts. So if this video helped you understand block level and inline elements, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and comment your curious questions. Also don't forget to follow me on the Instagram, link is in the description. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!